A man is trying to reach his pregnant wife, but the roads are blocked, cars are everywhere, and chaos is spread all around. What exactly is happening? The story then shows Angelina, who is pregnant. Because of this, she asks her boyfriend Will to talk to her parents about their marriage. Angelina's parents don't really like Will, so after a few days, Will decides to go and meet them. Angelina advises him to apologize for the last incident and tells him not to drink alcohol before meeting them. After that, Will boards a flight and travels to meet Angelina's father, Anderson, who is a retired Army general. Later that night, Will and Anderson are sitting at the dinner table. Will tells him that Angelina is pregnant and that they are planning to get married. Hearing this makes Anderson happy at first, but then Will mentions that he heard they are planning to buy a house. Anderson says he is thinking about helping them with it. However, he also adds a condition. If Will and Angelina ever have a fight in the future, he will not claim ownership of the house. Will politely refuses his help. This makes Anderson angry because he already thinks Will is an irresponsible man. Soon an argument begins between them. After a while, Will stands up from the dinner table before even finishing his meal. When Will goes to his room, he video calls Angelina. But he lies to her and says that he hasn't talked to her parents about the marriage yet. Suddenly, Angelina's side of the call starts having network issues. Strange noises can be heard, and the call suddenly disconnects. The next day, Will goes to the airport to take a flight to Seattle, but all the flights are canceled. At first, it seems like some kind of technical glitch. But then people watch the news on TV and find out that strong earthquakes are hitting Seattle and many cities across the United States, causing many deaths. At the same time, the electricity at the airport suddenly goes out. Panic spreads everywhere among the people. Will tries calling Angelina, but the call doesn't go through. Because of this, Will goes back to Angelina's parents and tells them everything. He also explains that the last time he spoke with Angelina, he heard some strange noises on the call. Hearing this makes Anderson worried about his daughter, so Anderson suggests that they drive to Seattle instead. However, Seattle is about 3,000 miles away from where they are. But Angelina is very important to both of them. They have to bring her back safely somehow. Without wasting any more time, they need to reach Seattle as quickly as possible so they can bring Angelina back safely. Anderson quickly asks Will to get into his car, and they start driving toward the border. Meanwhile, the situation in the city is getting worse. The streets are crowded with people because the crisis is spreading everywhere. During their journey, they stop at a gas station. But there, Will gets into an argument with a few people standing nearby. Anderson quickly steps in and drives everyone away before the situation escalates. After that, they finally reach the border. But the authorities are not allowing vehicles to go any further because the roads ahead have been badly damaged. Anderson tries to explain to the officer that he is from the army and that he needs to go and rescue his daughter. After some hesitation, the officer agrees and lets them pass. While leaving, he tells them that the government has declared a national emergency. They continue driving forward, and night begins to fall. Suddenly, a police car starts chasing them from behind, forcing them to stop their vehicle. But it turns out the man in the police car is actually a thief who stole the police vehicle. Now he wants to take their car. Will tries to reason with him, but the thief only wants to rob them. While Will is talking to the thief, Anderson suddenly reverses the car and hits him, knocking him to the ground. Will quickly jumps back into the car, and Anderson drives away at full speed. The thief begins firing his gun, but Will shoots at the windshield of the police car. This slows the thief down, but soon Will and Anderson lose control and their car crashes. Moments later, the thief reaches them again. At gunpoint, he orders both of them to step out of the car. This makes Anderson furious. As soon as he gets out, he attacks the thief and beats him badly, leaving him unconscious. However, their car is now badly damaged. So they tow the thief's stolen police car and continue their journey using it. The next day, they come across a garage run by a woman named Ricky. Will goes inside and asks for help. Ricky doesn't have many spare parts, but she manages to repair their car enough to make it drivable again. While they are there, they hear a news broadcast on the radio saying that the situation outside has become far worse. Along with the earthquakes, people in the western region believe a nuclear reactor has exploded, spreading radiation across the entire area. The government reports that around 2 million people have already died. After hearing this, Will and Anderson stand in the distance, clearly frightened. At the same time, it is revealed that Anderson has a broken rib, which makes it difficult for him to even stand properly. But he hides this. Now Will and Anderson offer Ricky to come with them. The roads are extremely dangerous, and if the car breaks down again, she could help repair it. At first, Ricky refuses because she doesn't trust them. But Anderson explains that he is trying to find and rescue his daughter, and that it isn't safe for her to stay alone. After hearing this, Ricky finally agrees to go with them. They gather some food supplies and extra fuel tanks before leaving. They also put black tape over the rear lights so that no one can easily follow them during the night. The three of them continue their long journey. After driving for a while, they begin to feel like someone might be following them. So they park their car at a corner and wait. Soon after, they see a car ahead that has crashed, and everyone inside appears to be dead, except for one man who is still alive. As they approach him, another car suddenly arrives. Realizing that these people are looters, Will, Anderson, and Ricky quickly start their car and drive away. Ricky feels bad and says they could have tried to save the injured man. Anderson explains that those men were dangerous robbers, and even if they had helped him, he probably wouldn't have survived because he had already lost too much blood. Ricky becomes quiet. After some time, she shows Will her compass, which has suddenly stopped working. This seems very strange to them. Later, they stop to refuel the car. While doing so, Will notices a strange glow in the sky at a distance. Suddenly, lightning strikes nearby. Seeing this, they quickly jump back into the car and drive away. But now the weather begins to get worse. Because of this, Will stops the car under a bridge. Something very strange is happening, something they cannot understand. Time passes, and it has now been 2 days since they left home. Their food supplies are almost finished, so Will decides to stop at the house of a friend named Adam. However, when they reach the town, they see that the people there have armed themselves because the government is no longer able to provide protection. When they meet Adam's wife, she tells them that Adam has not returned home for 3 days. She starts crying. Will tries to comfort her and tells her that he also has no idea where his own wife is. Before leaving, they take some food supplies from the house. Later, they stop outside a water park where many abandoned cars are parked. They start taking petrol from those vehicles. But Anderson struggles to lift the fuel containers because his ribs are broken. Still, they continue moving forward. By now, they all know that there is no point in turning back. As they keep driving, another night falls. They see many people leaving their homes and heading toward the forests, hoping to start a new life away from the chaos. Suddenly, a woman appears in front of them asking for help. Anderson steps out of the car and gives her some water, but it turns out to be a trap. Her companions are already hiding nearby with guns, and they rob all of their supplies. Anderson chases after the robbers and starts firing his gun. During the chaos, their vehicle flips over. Anderson quickly pulls out a petrol can, and moments later, a huge explosion occurs, killing the attackers. Ricky is completely shocked by what she just witnessed. Because of this, Ricky decides she can't continue traveling with them. Will tries to convince her to stay, but she refuses. Without telling them, she quietly leaves during the night. Will searches for her, but she has already disappeared. Meanwhile, Anderson's condition keeps getting worse. He is suffering from internal bleeding, and one of his broken ribs has punctured his lung, making it hard for him to breathe. To help him, Will performs an emergency procedure and creates a small opening in Anderson's chest so he can breathe properly. After this, the two of them have a serious conversation. Anderson admits that he was wrong about Will and says that he had always misunderstood him. Will apologizes to him as well. As time passes, their journey becomes even longer and harder. Suddenly, they are attacked by a group of people, and during the fight, Anderson's pain becomes much worse. Realizing that his time is running out, Anderson asks Will to promise that he will always take care of his daughter. Will agrees. Moments later, Anderson takes his last breath. Will becomes emotional because in just 4 or 5 days of traveling together, they had finally begun to understand and respect each other. After moving forward, Will's car eventually breaks down. Because of this, he sets the car on fire, believing it will give Anderson's soul some peace. Now, he continues his journey on foot. After walking some distance, he meets a family traveling toward a safe place. They allow Will to ride with them. During the journey, they ask him what he thinks caused all this chaos. Will explains that everything seemed to start in Los Angeles, and from there the situation slowly spread until it became impossible to control. Soon they arrive at Will's father's house, where there is plenty of food and supplies. Will tells the family that they can stay there safely and won't have to worry about food. In return, he asks them to give him their car because he still needs to find his girlfriend. The family agrees and gives him their vehicle. When Will finally reaches Seattle, he is shocked by the condition of the city. Everything is destroyed. Radiation fills the air, and it looks as if a nuclear bomb has exploded there. Smoke and destruction are everywhere. Despite the devastation, Will finally reaches his home, though it is nearly collapsing. Inside, he finds a message left by Angelina. She knew that he would come looking for her, so she left a note with the location where she planned to go. Will immediately follows the direction written in the message. The path leads into a forest, where he finally finds Angelina. The two are incredibly happy to see each other again. Angelina tells him that she came there with Henry, her neighbor. Will thanks Henry for saving her life, but we can see anger in Henry's eyes. It seems he didn't want Will to arrive because he had feelings for Angelina. The next day, Henry takes Will into the forest, planning to kill him. But Will had already sensed his intentions the night before. So before Henry can act, Will shoots him and kills him. At that moment, a powerful earthquake begins, turning the area into something like a massive sandstorm. Will quickly puts Angelina into the car and drives away at full speed, searching for a bunker where they might survive. The story ends with a big question. Was this disaster actually caused by a nuclear attack from another country on the United States?